Hello everyone, how you doing? Mercury here with the message. So today's message we're going to be speaking about the new moon solar eclipse happening in the sign of Sagittarius, happening December 4th. Okay, it'll be happening at 2:45-ish a.m. So most of us will be fast asleep, but we'll be waking up tomorrow to a whole new moon in a solar eclipse cycle. Okay, the solar eclipse energies last for approximately an hour and a year and a half. And so for the past year and a half, the eclipses have been mostly happening in Sagittarius and Gemini. And this will be the last eclipse on that axis, as we have the node of the moon here moving into Taurus. So over the next year and a half, most of the eclipses again will now be on that axis. Okay. Sagittarius. So yeah, we're going to be integrating those energies. Okay. So Sagittarius is about our beliefs, our higher education. It's about foreign ideas even, or foreigners. It's about travel and adventure. It's the sign of the archer. So it is a philosophical sign, and it's about aiming at our target. Okay, this is also a mutable axis, which means change. So changes are happening. Okay, now there's a few interesting things that are going on in this moon cycle here. There's a lot of interesting things happening this winter, and I've done some videos on that already about the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde that'll be happening over the winter. The Venus retrograde talks all about Pluto as well, and the Venus and Mars conjunction that will also be taking place. So that's all stuff happening between now and March anyhow. So what else did I want to speak about? I go into these videos not really terribly prepared. I just kind of wing them, and anyhow, so I was mentioning Venus and Pluto and Mars, which are all in this beautiful sextile. Sextiles are exciting energies, okay? And during this, Mars is still a distance away, but in future moon cycles, these three planets, there's a lot of energy stirring up, and that energy is obviously being stirred up here. We also see that Neptune is in this axis here, and Neptune, or Pisces, has a lot to do with this eclipse, this moon cycle as well, as the first quarter moon will be in trine to Neptune. And then just a few days towards the end of the moon cycle, we will have Jupiter moving into Pisces. So and I believe Pisces is as well mutable. Yep, mutable. So I think that will be adding to the changes, adding to that flavor. Okay, so Pisces is one confusion. Okay, there's a little bit of fog energy there. Things aren't very clear usually. But Pisces, is also about our dreams. And Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. So it is the sign of completion or undoings. Okay. It is also a sign that has been referred to as prison, which I don't like negative views of things. So it took me a long time to wrap my head around that concept. And so what I actually came to understand with the prison concept is when you look at the opposing sign, Virgo is about selfless service. Okay, so if Virgo is about selfless service, to me Pisces would be about how we serve ourselves. Okay, and are we treating ourselves, are we viewing ourselves in our best light, therefore being able to complete the cycle, or are we not serving ourselves terribly well and staying stuck in patterns? So in that way, it's a prison. As well, another way, of looking at it is, for example, I bought this house that's behind me here, and so that was my choice. But with buying a house comes with a mortgage. And so that mortgage, that contract, I am now tied to it. I am, in a way, imprisoned by it. It was my choice, so it's the self-created prison. And that's kind of how I look at the Piscean energy. Okay? Yeah, so we have some chances. The Gemini Sagittarius axis is all about the mind. Okay, so Sagittarius is what we think and believe, what we know or what we don't know. Gemini is kind of how we think about it. Okay, not what we think, but how we think. Are we positive thinkers? Are we, I always lose the examples that I want to share when thinking about this. But do we have a self-defeating mind state? Are we positive or negative? Are we hopeful or doubtful? Or it could go on. There's, like I said, I can never really think of the examples on the spot here. My son is in Gemini, and yeah. But definitely duality, right? Gemini, the twins, the opposites, opposite ends of the spectrum, whatever. So, yeah. What else do I want to say here? The full moon of this moon cycle will be in Cancer. Let's move ahead to it. Why not? Let's slow down here for a second. Like I was saying, the first quarter moon is the moon will be conjunct Neptune in Pisces. So, the dreams and the confusion is still well in play. Mercury, 19 degrees. Now, Mercury doesn't really like Sagittarius very much. Let me just go back here for a second to the eclipse. Mercury is conjunct this eclipse. So our minds could be foggy right now. Our minds are overloaded, I feel, with ideas, with thoughts. You know, we have our beliefs. You know, maybe some. I'm going to steal a term from a friend here. BS, belief systems that aren't serving us. And yeah, you know, we should try and change, right? These axes here is mutable energy, which is about change, changing those belief systems, and believing in better ones. Okay, that's Sagittarius. So Mercury here is opposing his sign, is not in a comfortable place. So Mercury, you know, might be a pessimistic thinker, and is currently being challenged to not be so pessimist, and change to be more optimist, or you know, different variations like that. Yeah, you know, I really like this axis here. I don't really have a whole lot to say on it because there is so much to digest and deconstruct the aspects going on here. So I'm just going to kind of skip that, even though, you know, maybe I shouldn't, because in 2 weeks Venus goes retrograde. Basically in 2 weeks Venus crosses over Pluto and goes retrograde. Oh, that's one thing I wanted to mention. So Venus and Pluto here on this new moon is going to be back in this exact position next new moon, except Venus will be in the retrograde position. Okay, and Neptune will still be in aspect to it because Neptune moves extremely slow. Mars, however, will be, you know, let's go there. Let's go to that new moon here. 20. Where is the sun? Let's go back a day. Is up some hours. There we are. Where is Mars? I'm just kind of curious. Mars is 14 degrees. So Mars is almost 2 degrees past where this eclipse is. So in the days prior, 3 days before, you know, I really like keeping track of the last few days of the moon cycles. I often feel like we witness the transformative energies, the alchemical properties of the moon cycle unfolding, and I feel like often the very last few days of the moon cycle is the full moon and a few days before the new moon, as well as the day or two after the new moon, I feel are very strong in recognizing the transformative patterns that you have been witnessing unfold. Yeah, like I said, Jupiter is going to be now in Pisces, Neptune at the same spot, and Venus, this is, we're not at, I changed it, I went a few days before that next new moon. Venus, like I said, back at 22 degrees, Pluto's still at 25 and Neptune at 20, still in that sextile. Okay, so yeah, and here we are now entering Capricorn season. Where that Pluto and Venus is happening. Venus now in her retrograde. Venus will be in retrograde until, you know what, probably the next new moon. I believe it's maybe January 29th or February 1st that Venus goes. Yeah, Venus is stationed here, and by that following new moon, we are here. Let me just go some hours ahead. Venus is no longer retrograde. So Venus finishes her retrograde cycle in the Capricorn moon cycle, which is the next one. And then come February 1st, the new moon in Aquarius. Yeah. We now have Mercury, interestingly enough, right in the middle, sandwiched between where Venus and Pluto was, and actually where Venus and Pluto is, much closer to Pluto. So the information is, coming in here. However, in a retrograde, there's still the confusion going on of that Piscean energies. So, I'm well past what I should be speaking of, I guess. I don't know. It's all applicable. But, yeah. I feel like this eclipse, we're not December 1st anymore. We are the 3rd. I might as well even go to the 4th where that eclipse is. Yeah, to me, the big energies that are happening over this winter is the Venus-Pluto conjunctions. Pluto, I haven't said this in this video, but Pluto at 27 degrees, where eventually Venus and Mars, for now, at 27 degrees, Pluto will be at the America's Pluto return spot from 1776. Prior to that would have been when around 1512 or so, when the Spaniards arrived to the shores of South America, meeting the Aztecs and basically decimating that culture, that civilization. So we could see that major changes happens with Pluto at that 27 degree mark, and Venus really reflects our values. So the transformation of the Pluto at the 27 degree Capricorn will reflect this Venus retrograde, our values. And it's so beautiful that when Venus turns direct, Venus moves faster in the sky than Mars, but coming out of a retrograde, she will be moving quite slow. She will actually match Mars's speed, and they will be traveling hand in hand for over 5 weeks. 5 weeks basically within a degree, which is almost unheard of. So yeah, this retrograde is really interesting. That the Venus Mars is the energies balancing out to be transformed. So yeah, there's a lot of change, a lot of transformation, deep transformation going on currently on the planet. But yeah, in order to face these transformations, okay, because these are going to be foundational, Capricorn, foundational changes. We have to get our belief systems in order. Our BS, we got to get that together. We got to get our mind on page with our beliefs. We got to stop the doubts. We got to stop the self-sabotage, the negative thought patterns that we may enter into. We got to really sharpen that arrow and hit our target. You know, that has to be our main focus right now, is to stay on target, to stay on course, to believe, to really strengthen that belief, to, you know, Mercury there, you know, there's hope or doubt, the Gemini axis, right? Hope or doubt. And really we need to start having hope and believing that our hopes can manifest. Okay, I was trying to think of, like, there's faith and trust, those kinds of things as well, right? We can trust, or we can be leery of things. We can have faith, or we can, I guess faith and hope is very similar, because doubt is the word that I had to go with that anyhow. So yeah, things aren't clear. Okay, I'm just gonna say it all over again just to make sure that, you know, it's clear. It's clear that things aren't clear. Okay, with that Piscean energy being played out here, things aren't clear. We are dreaming. We are using our imagination to aim in the directions that we want, to believe, to cultivate our hope, our trust, and our faith for the future, to manifest. You know, we got to believe that things are changing in our favor, that you know, the foundations beneath our feet may crumble, but we have to have that faith, that trust, that a new foundation, a stronger one, a one that is more supportive to humanity's direction, is all going to play out here, you know, in the next 6 months to a year and a half. Okay. There's so much I could say with all that kind of stuff. You know, in a year and a half, that'll bring us to the year 2023, where, you know, I'm not even going to go there. 2024, 2025, those are all this stuff that we're going through is all going to culminate to that period in time, 2024, 2025, and a whole new reality, a whole new world is going to open up come 2026, and yeah, that'll have everything to do. That future world has everything to do with our ability to trust and have faith and believe, and allow the foundations to crumble, and to not fear the new foundations that come in, even though they may appear they may not appear favorable at first, or something along those lines. Mercury, is going retrograde soon, so the information that we will be receiving will not be accurate. Mercury is possibly already in his shadow phase. I can't say for sure. I would have to relook at that Mercury retrograde video I did. But yeah, here's my video. That's what I feel. I'm not going to finish my video just yet. Or am I? I have some cards to pull. I kind of wanted to... I opened a page, my Mercury's Messenger Facebook page, and I wanted to go back to the November 4th new moon, this last moon cycle that we were just in. As today here is the final day of this moon cycle, and I just wanted to talk about the Sabian symbols, the inside degrees that went with the new moon and the full moon of this moon cycle, so we could kind of have a grasp on what's going on with ourselves. Okay, so the new moon, November 4th, was in Scorpio, and the picture described is of a young man with a frail body but a beautiful and noble face. Okay, so here is one thing I should say is these are channeled messages that go with, there's a message for each degree in the zodiac. So old roots crumbling, new self emerging, historical underpins not very strong. The vision of what can be burns bright and clear. You've been held back a long time by questions about health and safety, viability and durability, always seeming on the way out, yet the internal image of who you are, extended to become, looms large and seeks to become incarnated. The battle between what could never be and what must emerge. The underlying feeling tone is that somehow, barely despite all odds, the infinite one can be born directly in the self of the one who could not be. And then all bets are off. Absolutely anything is possible. And this touches with me greatly after the Leo moon cycle entering into the Virgo. I really feel like I let myself down. I did not step into the transformative energy. I felt like I betrayed myself. I'm a Virgo rising. It was the opportunity to have a whole new identity, and through Virgo being detail oriented, through repetition, have that new identity through repetition creates habit, right? Emerge. Okay, and so yeah, I'm I'm vibing with that for sure. Okay, then the full moon, which would have been the first eclipse in the Taurus Scorpio axis, where the eclipses will be for the next year and a half. Yeah, actually, one thing about this here that made me want to even mention about eclipses and that year and a half energy is we are 18, 19 months after the lockdowns of COVID. And what is this here talking about? Health and safety. Okay. So yeah, that is kind of what we've been dealing with for the past year and a half. So it's kind of interesting, these channel messages that are so, I love them anyhow, like sometimes they, they're loose, but for the most time I am shocked on how accurate they describe the energies of the current. Okay, so the full moon was on the 19th and was in Taurus, and it's the picture described is of a man sculpturing hedges into animal farms. So making a great deal of something out of almost nothing is the mark of fantasy or inhibited imagination. You prefer to be present with basic, simple, and ordinary things. Inside your soul, you turn these into what they originally were, releasing their primal power. When alchemy runs this close to the bone, it is astonishing what it can do. Tackling long-standing knots and obstacles of every kind is sensed as nourishment and opportunity. A sacrificial incarnation can be best frame itself in fantasy and imagination, and thereby hug the edge between worlds perfectly. The path here is to stay under while peeking over the top, and to play it as straight as can be, while coming from an irrepressible source that can come through this particular form with flying colors. Okay, so alchemy is for sure. We might feel like our basket is empty, but somehow with our ability to believe, really, we can fill that basket. We can turn things around for us. Letting go of letting go of what was, what has been, what you have known to be. Let that go and fall back into that child fantasy imagination state of mind, to create, to be that alchemist. And so now here is that time where it's about letting go. The icicles are melting. This is now this eclipse happening here. Soul timing, slow and formative, waiting for fullness and ripeness, outliving old stuck patterns by slowly wearing them out. Deep process, you experience lessons in humility and simplicity. An extravagant streak which relents only after relentless pressure. Cross purpose, you have an attachment to personal inclination of the most stubborn kind. Okay, and yet a despite drive to get beyond the shadows. Interior dialogue and dispute. the slow burning away, and allowing pride to surrender without being made wrong. Elaborate maneuvers toward significant breakthroughs. Okay, so I was describing all about that, about, you know, the way we think, Mercury, Gemini, changing. You know, those stubborn ideas, those stubborn belief systems. Okay, it's time for those to change, to transform, to slowly melt away. Okay, and yeah, we can do this without feeling like we were wrong all this time. That it was right for that, for the moment, I guess, you know. It was right for self actualizations. And yeah. So I'm gonna finish this video with pulling some cards here. Why not? So I have my Santa Marte Tarot and Oracle deck here. It's the same artist who put the two together. The Oracle deck I struggle with using a little bit, even though I love it. I really like this tarot deck. It's every card has unique art that really allows you to use some intuition rather than just read the cards for what they are. You know, one of my other favorite decks, the minor arcana cards, the ace to 10 cards, have no real art, and so it's pretty straightforward, and that's why I like this deck, is because it gives me a lot more to look at, you know. So the first card, the Hangman. The Hangman is about areas that we are stuck in. It could be about, recontemplating some things. Yeah. So yeah, he is holding on to the post in which he's hung from. So, to me, that's about staying stuck, is clenching onto things that we might need to let go of to get beyond. Okay, so yeah, that's that card. Next card is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so the Pentacles is Earth. It's about value, and the Page could be about a message, could be about a message being delivered. It could be about the student, the apprentice, and so here she's putting a coin into her bag. Okay, so it might be about taking stock on our worth. And the last card I have here is the Six of Swords. Six of Swords. Swords being... Swords, I believe, is the fire energy. Or is Swords the air energy? Boy. Why do I not recall? Let me just see here. Swords might be about air. Yeah, Wands is fire. Swords is air. Sorry about that. It's been a little while since I used this deck. And 6 is about the foundation. So the thoughts, our thoughts, our belief systems is the foundation of our thoughts. Okay? And here he is, anyhow, traveling on the water, pushing off into a new direction. So, those three cards together is, about recontemplating or releasing where we are stuck, taking stock of our worth and making those changes to our belief systems that will take us into a new direction. Okay, so that's what I got with the tarot. And let me pull one oracle card. Now, like I was saying, this oracle deck, I find it difficult to use. There's no writing. It's all just pictures. 8 of the 32 cards here are of Aztec deities. And if I pick one of those, I have to refer to the book. I have next to no information that I can share on my own about those. I definitely cannot read. Well, I could read. I definitely don't remember any of the names except for Quetzalcoatl, which I don't even believe I'm pronouncing that properly. Quetzalcoatl, whatever. Anyhow, okay, that was the final shuffle. And what card do I have? I believe this is Shadow. It may be Darkness. Okay. Let me just look here quickly. It is Shadow. Shadow. I might as well just, I have the book open, I might as well just read what it says. The level of formation begins with shadow, as if in a reflection of what comes from above. From the darkness card, the shadow represents our occult unconscious, that which silently suggests that we do not perceive and do not know how to listen, but that inevitably influences our thoughts, our emotions, and then on the material plane, our actions. When we are not acquainted with it, we project it externally as a negative component. Thus, we can do nothing but see in binary terms of good and evil, white and black. The advice of the dead for this card is, it is important to start analyzing yourself to gain greater awareness of yourself and your relationships to others. Otherwise, it will be impossible to change and evolve. Okay? So, I find this card says more than almost everything else I've said this entire time. Okay? this card speaks to me anyhow greatly. For I am right now dealing with the consequences of falling to my shadow. And I definitely don't want my shadow to continue to project, to be recycled. It's something that I definitely want to release and let go of. It's something that I don't want to have continue to affect myself and my relationships negatively. Okay, I really this almost brings emotion to me. I really want to change and evolve. I really want to find that strength, that courage, that self-belief that I'm worth more than I've allowed myself to be all these years. Yeah. So anyhow, that card affected me a little too emotionally here. That now I'm just in internal thought that I'm gonna have to leave us here. The video's been long enough anyhow. So thanks for watching. Hope that you had patience of getting through the entire thing. If not, thanks anyhow for whatever you did watch, and I hope it helped in whatever way. Talk to you guys again soon. Hope that everything works out in your favor, that these transformations, these shifts, I believe in you to work through them. And yeah, just have some faith. Okay, a new world is emerging, and it does no longer fall by the same rules of that old world. So see you guys again soon. Cheers. Bye.